Well, welcome to Underground Creations. I don't really know what we're creating in here. Uh, Had to come up with a name pretty quickly, for the YouTube. Man, I'm still rocking the gloves. Yeah, man. Speaking of the gloves, I know a lot of you probably noticed. I've been a avid glove wearer lately because I got a deal on gloves. I have like 20 boxes of gloves, and I don't use those types of gloves to tattoo. So they were just like sitting around, and I was like, well, I'll have garage gloves in case I'm painting or staining or dealing with like an axe or something. And now I'm like just to the point where I'm wearing them all the time, and it's it's been kind of nice because I don't go inside and have to spend 20 minutes digging everything out of my fingernails. I have no grease or anything. It's been a game changer. That and the respirator has been a game changer. Like I now after using it, I'll be out here for like a day without it, and I'm like, man, how did I ever do this? Like, why was I never wearing one of these the entire time? Like, I don't go in with a film of rust in my mouth anymore. Like weird, black boogers constantly. I mean, everybody knows the drill, but it's been nice. And just to let you guys know, I just want to discuss a couple of things. First and foremost, this build, but just how this works. I don't know if I explained it before. I can't remember, but anyone that's tuning in for the first time, like I'm like a month ahead on videos, so that's how I do things. I try to stay like 4 or 5, even 6 episodes ahead. That way, you never know what life's gonna throw at you. You might uh, need to take a break for whatever reason, and that way your videos are still scheduled to come out. Mine I schedule for Friday night at 6 o'clock, as you know. Uh, it's a lot of people will be like, they don't understand why certain people, like I didn't understand how it worked until I had a YouTube channel, but like I'd wonder why like it'd be snowing in people's episodes and it was like summertime. But that's why, I mean, you gotta stay sort of up to date. Like you can't get too far ahead or else like, look at like COVID, people are still filming, like they're putting videos out 6 months into COVID that were filmed the year before and they're not. And then like all the way into like 2021 or 2022 or 23, I'm still seeing videos of people wearing masks, and I'm like, man, that was filmed 3 years ago. So I try to not to stay too far ahead, but I think a month is a good comfort cushion, just in case anything happens. But I've been pumping out content, as you guys know, every week. I've been staying with it as much as possible. It's not always easy, I have a family. I have like 3 or 4 other jobs, like side hustle, all kinds of stuff going on. And I'm very busy and someone always has a problem. And, I have a lot of friends outside of this that, I try to help out. And, I do tattoos. So like people are always driving me nuts about that. It's an ongoing thing, which I'm not complaining. I'm very fortunate. I love my life. I love being able to come out here and do this as my part of my job. Like I never thought that I'd be able to come out to the garage and essentially play and be able to pay my water bill with that money. Like I don't make much off YouTube. If you want me to be extremely transparent, I don't have any problem revealing the the big secret. As you guys know, I don't even have. I don't know. What do I have? 2,000 subscribers. I'm not a big channel at all. I'm at the very beginning stages. I just got monetized, and so far, since I got monetized, I've made $140. So, I mean that's nothing. I don't get so, but my other channel, I have other things going on. Like my other channel that I film abandoned places, and that channel makes more money. And I work for another company that buys those videos before I release them on YouTube. It's a whole thing. Plus, I have a merch store, uh, which I'm thinking about making merch for this channel. It's getting there. It's about time. Like I feel like I could. Uh, if anyone wanted a t-shirt or something, I could come up with some cool designs, some car designs, like each build. I don't know. I don't want to copy off. I know like Puddin's Fab Shop, he kind of does that. I just like to make car content. I like to make car art, and like, but I don't want to, people. will claim that I'm copying off of it. Everything's been done before. I mean, everybody's been copying off of Ed Roth, for how long? They're still making the weirdos, the anybody that has their car with a cartoon up above it. Like, I mean, everybody does that. I don't necessarily want to do that. But like, I have some other ideas for some artwork and some hoodies and t-shirts, but God knows when that'll be, man. I could do it as soon as tonight, or I have like 50 designs, but I just don't know. It's one of those things. It's kind of a pain to set up the store. It's not really, but one of these nights when I remember and I'm not editing a video and I'm not working, I'll do it. But the build, so the build's getting a little freaky. I mean, it wasn't meant to be a rat rod. I still don't think it's there. I don't think it's a rat rod yet. I think people's big misconceptions with rat rods, people have the term confused, just like everybody has the hot rod term confused. No one knows what they're talking about. Like, people are calling Mustangs hot rods and stuff. They're like, anything that's modified. I get it. And technically, maybe if like there's a dictionary definition, maybe it's like something that's hopped up. But I don't know. I personally, I've given this explanation so many different times, but like, a hot rod to me is an early, it's a late 20s, early 30s, like Ford or, Chevy, whatever, Link. It could be anything. A car like this is, and then there's traditional hot rods, and they were built by high school kids, or they were built by, guys that came home from World War II, and they just raided the junkyards, made whatever parts work with whatever parts, but their whole deal was speed, right? So like, a car like this isn't gonna, like, it's gonna go fast because it's gonna have a 350, go-kart, but I'm not building this to take to the track. But like, those guys, that's all they cared about. Like, they wanted to like set records. They were building cars that went as fast as their jets in World War II. Like, they wanted to make them as fast as possible. So they're throwing Cadillac engine. And so like, a hot rod to me is like a period correct. Like, this is not a hot rod because I'm putting a newer engine in it. Not newer, like, it's still going to be a carburetor. It's a small block Chevy, but it's not like if I were putting like a Cadillac engine from the 50s or 60s, then I would consider this more of a hot rod. If I wasn't using the disc brakes, if I was setting it up the way they would have in the 50s and 60s, that to me that's a hot rod, man. Like, post-war veterans building pre-war cars. And I love gassers too. Obviously, you guys know I love gassers. So I want to get another gasser going. I don't know yet. That's a future plan. I have to have another gasser. Like, I'm learning from everything that I'm doing here. Like, last year exactly to like the day is when I sold the Model A, the other Model A that I built last year. So and after I got rid of that, I regretted it horribly. And that's why I'm building this. Like, I immediately, after I got rid of it, I was like, I want to build another one. And since I got rid of the gasser last summer, I want to build another one, but better than I did that one. That was my first car. That was my first build. And I had no idea I still don't know what I'm doing, but I really didn't know what I was doing. Like, I got a lot of experience throughout that build and my other builds. So, this is going to be my version of like what I'd want a Tudor to look like. I mean, I think that's what a car build should be. If you're building a car for yourself, if you're building one for a client, it's not your idea. It's not your concept. Unless they're telling you to have free reign, but like, usually people have an idea of what they want and they'll take it to a builder and be like, this is what I want it to look like, or they'll let them do their own thing. But like, this is what I would do if I wanted a car builder to build me a car. Like, it's how I want my hot rod to look. And it has a long way to go, but I'm not building this, to flip it or sell it. I genuinely, I think I want to keep this one. I want to keep the Cadillac and the 51, and then I'd like to have a gasser. And it's funny because in my videos I talk about this stuff a lot, and I talk about my future plans. And if you would see what my plans were in 2020, it was completely. I would have never imagined. And I guess that's what everyone says. Like when they start getting into something and they put their time and effort into it, and it becomes a passion, then like they look back and they're like, man, I can't believe I started in this little tiny garage, 5 years ago, and I was broke, and now I have like 12 cars. And it's crazy how it's great if you really put effort into it and you love it, the way I do. I've come a long way. I've if you started watching this channel back when I had the 48, when I started the 48, I mean, I bought a lot of cars since then and traded a lot of cars. I've had some cool cars come in and out of this tiny garage, uh, more than what I would have ever dreamed. I thought it would take me all my whole life to just obtain an old car that I wanted, a 50s car, because that's where it all started. Watching The Twilight Zone and Happy Days as a kid, and Grease. I grew up with Grease. It's the fawn. I mean, come on, that is just the best era. And if I had it 100% my way, like I would probably live like that year round. Like I know guys, not personally, but like YouTubers and stuff that like live like they're in the 50s. Like everything, every piece of furniture in their house, their clothes, they're still wearing stuff from the 50s. They're not wearing new Levi's. They're wearing Levi's from the 50s. Like it's a lifestyle. It's like a subculture that I've always loved. Now I'm a bald guy, so I can't get a nice pompadour or DA going, but I would if I had hair. You better believe that I would have a duck's ass going on all day, every day. But I can't do that. So as far as I want to go with this build, it's going to be it's I got to chop the top, and then other than that, it's going to look the way it's going to look, the way it looks now. But it's going to have. I want to put some cool speed parts on it. I don't necessarily want everything to be brand new off eBay or Amazon. So, and I'm not trying to. It's not going to be too crazy. It's probably going to be like 350, 400 horsepower max, which is still insane for this car. I mean, it's going to be a death trap. I have to really, I'm trying to really be sure about my welds, and I'm trying to be really careful about everything that I do because I'm treating this extremely carefully. Uh, I don't want to die, just to have a cool car. Like I don't want it to kill me, because my welds weren't good enough, or, you know, down to like, I used to not even like bevel my material, like before I'd weld it, now I'm like leaving nice gaps and uh, really penetrating that weld in there. And the more you do something, like the better you get at it. And I'm not saying I'm good at anything, man. I don't see myself as, I'm not like hard on myself, but at the same time, I guess like, I don't think that I'm really good at anything. Like, I don't put myself down like, oh, you're not good at anything. But like, I watch other people's builds. I'm a tattoo artist. I don't even like to say I'm a tattoo artist. I'm a tattooist. I watch other tattoo artists, and like, I'm like, they blow me away. It's like, dude, you're never as good as you think you are. And you could always be better. And I don't like to put myself down and think like you should never. Everybody that reminds himself on a daily basis, like I could always be better. Pretty much you're putting yourself down on a daily basis, like you're not good enough. You need to accept that, like, yeah, you're okay at what you do, and if you're happy and you're enjoying yourself, then like you're doing the right thing. Like, the more I'm out here and the more I build and the more I put this together, the more proud of myself I am when I accomplish something. And even if it looks like shit in the end, and even if other people don't like it, it's like I had fun. I had so much fun doing it, and I guarantee I could sell it. I could sell it right now the way it sits. Someone would want to buy it, no matter how goofy another person thinks it might be. Someone else is going to love it. Like that's the beauty of cars. Like there is right and wrong, obviously. Like there's cars that I downright despise when I see it. I'm like, oh my God, I hate those. But someone else is driving it, and every time they turn the key, they're feeling the same way we do in the cars we love. It doesn't matter. So haters will hate. No one's hating. And by the way, no one's hating on me. Like I get nothing but positive feedback. I'm so thankful because I don't think I'm anything better than what I should be or anything like that. I'm, I'm my own worst enemy when it comes to like, beating myself up over certain things. But like, and I'm OCD about things as well. But uh, at the end of the day, I'm having fun, and I encourage anybody to go out and have fun. And if this is fun to you, and it keeps you out of the bars, and it keeps you from sitting around being depressed or whatever, man, like I get just as much enjoyment out of this as I ever did getting wasted and having a fun night with my buddies. I'm in here by myself with my music, making content. I love this. Like I want to do this forever if possible. Uh, and I'm feeling a certain way. The older I get, I'm 37 years old, which is really young compared to a lot of these old hot rodders. They're still out here building cars in their 90s, and uh, they probably think, "Oh, kid, you're 37 years old, man." But I don't feel like I'm 20 anymore. My back's killing me all the time. My hands hurt if I grip things. My hands hurt. A lot of things hurt, and a lot of that has to do with tattooing and vibrating machine in your hand all the time, gripping the machine. I have arthritis pretty bad. Uh, Doing stupid stuff like lifting the engine blocks out and the rear ends out by myself. I could have grabbed a friend or something. And, I still abuse myself to a certain extent. I don't like to bother people, and I like to do things myself. I've always kind of been that way. Uh, Everything that I know, I taught myself how to do. No one sat me down and taught me anything. No one ever tried to encourage me to learn something. It was what I felt like learning and what I'm interested in. And uh, that brought me to just create. I like to create, whether it's filming abandoned places, doing a tattoo, you know, whatever, building a car. It's all kind of the same. So no, I'm not a car builder. I'm not a fabricator. I'm not a mechanic. I'm not a body man. I don't know how many times I can say it, but I guess maybe some people would call me an artist. I'm out here. This is my artistic take on what I'd want my car to be. So with no experience, well, a little bit over these last couple of years, but uh, there's probably certain people watching these builds and thinking like, oh, this kid, he's destroying this car or whatever. And like I said, no one said anything, but I don't get many views. If one of these videos like went super viral and hit like 500,000 views or something like that, I would get so much negative feedback. The only people that comment are people that are into like my build and like me and watch my videos. So like I don't have that negative, vibe yet. Like that, like once you make like when you start getting like hundreds of thousands of views and stuff per video, that's when like the people come out of the woodwork and like they're getting recommended your videos and they might not necessarily like you or whatever. And a lot of these trolls are out there like hating on other people's stuff. They might watch Hoonigan and be into, I mean, they throw some hot rods on Hoonigan, but like, a lot of these kids are just, I don't know. I can't give a full explanation because it doesn't happen to me yet, but I know bigger car channels, they're always explaining themselves and they're always like, my other channel is a little bit bigger than this one. It has 7,000 followers and I have a couple videos that hit like 300,000, 400,000 views. And so those videos, you should see the different like people are fighting in the comments. Like it's just like insane. And it's like people come out of the woodwork. So like that, I don't even read them. Like it doesn't even bother me. I read all my comments on this channel because there's only a few of you and you guys are all cool. And I really enjoy your input because I've learned so much from you guys. And I'm flattered that some of you guys that watch my videos are like amazing car builders and know so much more than me. And it's flattering that you'd actually want to watch my videos. So I appreciate that. So the situation here, you guys already know the deal if you follow my videos, but that's literally how high the transmission is going to sit. And then it's going to go, I'm going to have to cut that center cross member out. But it's nice that my tranny is going to mount to the factory cross member. That's awesome. And then we have, I'm waiting on motor mounts. I was going to just make them, but but my plan, man, I mean, I'm loving this. I love how it sits. Like it's exactly what I wanted. And I'm really thinking about going white on the frame. I'm either gonna leave the frame, like obviously you guys, like I have to take this all back apart. The frame's gonna go up on the sawhorses and I'm gonna weld every little imperfection is gonna be welded, sanded. I have a lot of structure to add to it. I got a box that I have to do so much to it, but I'm going to put the motor mounts in it first, and I'm going to box around the motor mounts. And this frame, I think, is going to be painted white. I don't know yet. And then the block is probably going to be painted maroon, and or whatever that red is that I've been trying to hint around on everything. But yeah, I'm super stoked. Like, I still have to get the steering components, and I have to do so much, dude. I have so much to do. It's insane, but it is what it is. I mean, that's what happens. I mean, these were never meant to be simple. If they were simple, then everybody would have one. But I don't know. It's just kind of where we're at, and my future plans are just to finish it, dude. I mean, this is what it is. I have to add a ton of structure to the body, but I like, so far so good with like the gaps. The height is perfect. Everything is exactly how I want it. So ultimately, I don't want to take up any more of your time, but just kind of updating everybody on what's going on. But I guess I could have just filmed another build video and everybody would know what's going on. Now, sometimes I like to make these little filler videos. I'm not behind on videos, but I just feel like, sometimes I need to explain myself a little deeper than saying two sentences and then playing music over a time lapse of me doing something. There's so much more that goes on behind the scenes that no one understands unless you do this. Moving the camera around, making sure your batteries, the way I have to sometimes I have to take like a 2-hour break from filming because my phone dies and I have to put it on the charger, and a lot of different situations. You coming in?
Yeah.
I'm filming, so you might as well come in and say hi. All right. What are you up to?
Nothing.
Nothing, just running around. Aren't you freezing? It's
No.
freezing out.
Nope.
Why don't you zip your hoodie up?
Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
Thank you. All right, baby. I'll be in here probably another 10 minutes.
Okay.
I think Dave's stopping by, but...
Can I say hi?
Huh? Yeah, when he gets here. Yeah, you'll see him. All right, love you.
Love you.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't feel the need to edit anything out. I mean, it is what it is. You guys kind of see what this is just reality. I got kids, I got a wife, I got a lot going on, but you can still have hobbies and enjoy your kids and still be a full-time father. You know, I literally what you guys see. I think I explained this in the last video. I usually choose like 1 or 2 days out of the week to film, and then the other days of the week I work my other job, and I film an episode per day. So it's like that day's work, and that's how, you know. So I'm always ahead by an episode every week. So like that builds up, and before you know it, you're, you know, sometimes you can. I might come out 3 days in a week, and you know, so I still have a lot of time to spend with my family and do other things. But YouTube hopefully will take off eventually, and you never know. I might be able to just make a full-fledged living off of filming out here. That way I could film 5 days a week, because I would just treat it like a work week, and I would get a lot done 5 days a week. That'd be awesome. But you never know, man, if I could ever be so lucky. But all right, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, I appreciate it. I appreciate every comment and like and all that YouTube stuff. I don't want to be that guy, but I just want to build cars and do weird projects and get paid a little something for it. That'd be cool. So until the next one, which will be coming out next week, have a good one.